Cherry blossoms in a crowded place or a quiet place? What would you do if I said which you see in Kyoto depends on whether you watch this video or not? I'm a fabric artist based in Kyoto. When I get stuck at work, I walk outside to relieve stress. In the last few years though, that has become increasingly difficult. Over-tourism is a problem. This kind of situation doesn't relax me, but rather makes me even more stressed. But I didn't want to give up seeing the beauty of Kyoto, so I started experimenting. Where should I go? What time to go? I will share with you the tips I have learned over the past year. Relax. Say goodbye to Kyoto travel to conquer the list of must-go places. The number one reason people regret coming to Kyoto is that there are too many people. Watch all the videos in this Relax Kyoto series before you come to Kyoto. Doing so will make a big difference. Spring is a popular season for sightseeing in Kyoto. Lots of people come from all over the world to see the cherry blossoms. And while cherry blossoms are found in many places in the city, if you don't know how to avoid the crowds, it can be a nightmare. But if you remember the 3 tips I teach you, your trip will be much easier. There are things that just make a big difference whether you know them or not. I'll try to keep this video as concise as possible, so definitely watch to the end. So what are the 3 tips? They are to solve the timing and physical problems and use the cabs effectively. By the way, this Relax Kyoto series of videos will not show you how to spend money foolishly, but it is not a video for those who want to travel as cheaply as possible, so keep that in mind. First, the timing issue. Spring in Kyoto is not crowded everywhere all the time. It is very important to get going early in the morning. I'm talking about 6 or 7 a.m. early. Because there are really significantly fewer tourists early in the morning. It is also easier to get around if it is before the locals start moving to work or school. On weekends, domestic tourists come to Kyoto, but if it's early in the morning, there are still few of them. There are also fewer cars on the road. If you want to enjoy the beauty of the sunrise in Kyoto at the beginning of April is around 5:45. I call the early morning action Ninja Morning. I know it sounds like a lot of work to be out there at 5:45 a.m., but you can do it if you think you are a ninja. Late morning for normal people, ninja morning for smart people. Which would you prefer? Only kick-ass ninjas can enjoy the magical time Kyoto. Here are a few places I recommend for viewing the cherry blossoms in the morning. This is the spot to see the famous weeping cherry tree in Maruyama Park, located behind Yasaka Shrine near the Gion Geisha district. This weeping cherry tree is an icon of Kyoto, famous for its beauty. It's very crowded around it during the day when many tourists visit, and at night when it is lit up and cherry blossom viewing parties are held. If you go there early in the morning, you will have this cherry tree all to yourself as there is hardly anyone there. And because Maruyama Park is a park, there's no opening time, entrance fee, you can just go anytime. Passing through the gate of Yasaka Shrine, you will pass through the shrine part and continue on to Maruyama Park. And guess what? The Yasaka Shrine gate is open 24 hours a day. And it is a large prominent gate, so you can't miss it. Just one thing, even though this gate is open 24 hours a day, the shrine is not a place where you can do anything you want. I believe you guys are well behaved, but some tourists are not. If you go early in the morning, go through quietly. This is the Philosopher's Path, where many cherry trees bloom along the creek. Usually there are so many people walking along that it becomes disgusting, but early in the morning there are only locals and their dogs. Trust me, getting up early in the morning is hard, but it is worth it. And if you get sleepy later, just take a nap at the hotel. You are on vacation. Ninjas walk the streets, understanding the physical issues. Even at busy times, some places are very crowded and others not so much. Why? I decided to use a model to illustrate the physical problem for you. I want you to think of this board as the city of Kyoto. I will make models of tourist attractions with this children's clay. This is Kyoto City. These blue balls are tourists. This is you. I made 2 tourist attractions. This tourist site on the left is smaller and has only 1 gate to enter. This one on the right is larger and has several gates. Let's move people. On the left, people get stuck near the entrance. When you finally get inside, the place is full of people. A typical example of this type is Yoshiminedera temple, and you will be packed in like sardines. Yoshiminedera is a beautiful temple located at the foot of a mountain in the east. There are several paths leading to it, but at the end they all lead to one path. This is the entrance to the last road. The temple is already in sight, but there are too many people to reach it. By the way, I'm not telling you not to go to Yoshiminedera. Remember, if you go in the morning, it won't be crowded. The gate of Yoshiminedera temple opens at 6 a.m. Let's look at the right side. This place also attracts a lot of people, but there are many gates, so the entrance area doesn't get too crowded. Lots of space after you get inside. There are several examples of this type, but my recommendation is the Kyoto Imperial Palace. The Kyoto Imperial Palace is located in the center of Kyoto, where the emperor used to reside. Inside the walls and outside the buildings, there is a huge green area for citizens to enjoy a walk. Because the place is so spacious, visitors can view the cherry blossoms at a relatively leisurely pace in the spring. This video was shot in winter, so the cherry trees are not in bloom. These trees are cherry trees. There are many of them. Of course, during the cherry blossom season, there are more people than in the winter when this video was shot. But the place is huge, so you can't be packed in like sardines. You will be one of many fish swimming in a large lake. Another recommendation is along the Kamo River. The Kamo River runs from north to south through Kyoto City, and the riverbank is open space, making it perfect for a stroll. And there are many cherry trees along the Kamo River. The Kamo River gets crowded around the Shijo Ohashi Bridge, so I recommend going north from Marutamachi Dori. Have you even ever thought about Kyoto tourism from a physical perspective? Me, I've never thought that way until recently. But once I started thinking of the people in Kyoto as just objects and how they move in the spaces they occupy, the way I look at Google Maps changed. I started to think, is this place large? How many gates? Those kind of things. And you know what? That takes me to less crowded places. You too can move like a ninja, understanding physics. Where have you gone to see the cherry blossoms, and where were the places that were overcrowded? Are there any spots you'd recommend that were not so crowded? I didn't give that many examples, so please share your experiences in the comments section. Doing so will help the next person who travels to Kyoto. And finally, cabs. Modern ninjas cheat and even take cabs. An effective way to use cabs is to go to places that are difficult to reach by train or bus. Such places are usually far from the city center, so cab fare will be expensive. But your travel time is limited. I wouldn't hesitate to take a cab to faraway places. Sometimes there are very attractive cherry blossom viewing spots in inaccessible part of the city. And because those places are hard to get to, they tend to be less crowded. Now, there's a bonus for you who have watched this video this far. You remember the 3 tips, right? They are to wake up early, understanding the physical problems, and to use the cabs effectively. There is a heavenly beautiful place where you can go using all 3 tips. The name of the place is Yoshiminedera Temple. To begin with, the place is on the outskirts of the west, so getting there by public transportation is very tricky. So I want you to take a cab. Let's take a closer look at the center of the city. There are many buildings. Buildings. As you go towards the edge of the city, there are fewer and fewer buildings. There are more fields. There are also terraced fields next to the mountains. And where is it? Oh, there it is. Yoshiminedera Temple is right here. Most tourists go to temples near the center of the city, and as you see 2 or 3 of these temples, you may start to see the same thing. Like maybe a few years later, you are looking at the pictures and thinking like, which temple was it? I don't remember. But this temple, Yoshiminedera Temple, is so unique that you will never mistake it for any other temple. So I don't even really know where to start from. Look at this place, it's like huge. All the spaces they have and all those cherry trees. Even the Google Earth is showing the cherry blossom season out of many other seasons. Maybe because Google people even know that cherry blossom season is the best. And because the temple is in the mountain, it's not like flat. It has some 3-dimensional feel. I can't really show you in the video, but the air is even a little bit different. It's like fresh because the place is surrounded by mountains. Look at this place. So after you see everything, you will take these stairs to go up all the way to here where you will have the best view. So one thing I have to tell you, if you have bad knees or you are using a cane, it might be not the ideal place to go, but if you are like okay walking, Yoshiminedera is like the best. I can't recommend anywhere else to see cherry blossom in such amazing location. So when I ask people from abroad who comes to Kyoto, where are you going? A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to Kinkakuji, I'm going to Kiyomizura Temple, or Arashiyama Bamboo Forest, or Fushimi Inari Shrine. Nobody have ever told me they are going to Yoshiminedera. That's why I'm telling you on this channel right now. If you don't want to lose this information, subscribe to this channel. So I will tell you one more time. Wake up early in the morning and take a cab. The cabs in early morning in Kyoto can move with lightning speed. You will get to Yoshiminedera from the city center in about 30 or 40 minutes. The opening time of the gate of Yoshiminedera Temple, I think it's 8 or 8:30 depending on if it's a weekend or weekdays. Please just Google it before you go and make sure you have the right information. There is a large parking lot in Yoshiminedera, so it means you might be at the gate at the same time as the visitors coming in a big tour buses. But don't worry, it's a big place inside, so you won't be packed like sardines. I found the official Instagram account while researching the internet for information. You should find the Yoshiminedera account. Looking at the photos, it seems to be beautiful no matter what season you go there. I didn't mention it in my spring video, but it is also gorgeous during autumn leaves. Their Instagram is updated regularly, and in the spring they let you know what the cherry blossom are like now with images and videos. Is it too early now? Just in full bloom? Almost gone? Their Instagram seems to be a useful tool to check the latest information during your trip. Also, on rare occasions, they seem to be able to open the gate earlier so you can see the sunrise. Their information is in Japanese, so you will have to convert it to English to check. But I think it's worth doing that on the day before you go there, because it will take like just 1 minute. Cab fare, for example, from the center of Kyoto would cost about 12 to 16,000 yen round trip and sounds expensive, but come on, you are having the best time of your life, right? Let me share one of my travel stories. When I was 23 years old, I traveled to the US with my friends. We went from Japan to LA. We drove from LA to Las Vegas. Then we learned that it was actually easy to get to the Grand Canyon from Las Vegas, though the tour would cost about $500 per person on a small plane. We didn't have much money, but we were like, you know what? Let's just do it. We are already here. We may not see the Grand Canyon ever if we miss this chance. And we had a great time. Many people come to Kyoto and don't go to Yoshiminedera temple because it is far from the city center and the cab fare is expensive. But come on, you are already very close to that place. Once you go back to your own country, the place is much further away. By the way, Yoshiminedera may not be as amazing as the Grand Canyon, because the Grand Canyon was just too great, so forgive me for that, but you get my point, right? In the Buddhist way of thinking, it's now or never. I will leave a link to the locations I showed you today in the description section of this video. It is a link to a Google Map listing. The listing feature of Google Map is very useful and allows you to list multiple locations, not just a single location. I can also leave my comment for each location. Please use this link when you travel. Subscribe to this channel now so you don't have to say later, where was that video? I need that link. If you are planning a trip right now, you'll be thinking, oh, where should I go? And you may be stressed out. Relax, because Kyoto is always ready to welcome you in a relaxed mode. And as your Kyoto friend, I am always ready to welcome you. Meet me at my design studio.